Welcome back. Dale Myers with Vision Advanced. Today we're going to discuss persuasion versus influence. How leaders and entrepreneurs miss this and lose out on sales. So now your skills as a leader directly impact, they have a limit, we should say, on your threshold as an entrepreneur. Persuasion and influence are critical traits of a leader. So this is an intersection. They are affecting in some way your ability to make sales and nurture your clients. Now, in our everyday lexicon, our everyday language, we often use persuasion and influence simultaneously. And there can be certain cases where that's appropriate. But very often, there are distinct situations that call for the usage of one or the other, and sometimes one after the other. So let's take a quick look, and I wrote down a specific definition. According to Webster's dictionary, persuasion is the act of getting someone to do or believe something. To get someone to do or believe something, that's persuasion. Influence means the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something. That's where we're going to start. The definition of influence said something about development. And when you hear develop something, you think not just one time, you think a series of interactions. There's some time involved. And that's the critical distinction. Both influence and persuasion have something to do with steering towards a desired behavior. But in the instance of influence, we influence others by investing in the relationship, getting their buy-in over time so that we're not manipulating them. We are working collectively. And over time, they trust us. They trust in our judgment, and they believe we have their best interests at heart. And then, therefore, now we might use persuasive techniques to help them make a buying decision. So again, persuasion is different from influence. Influence requires that we take the time and energy to invest in the relationship. Now, so that being stated, persuasion is often one-time transactions, or it can be one-time transactions. And that's what most of us have thought of. We think about manipulating someone into buying a product or service. Well, I'm with you. I don't like manipulating people. That doesn't feel right with me and my spirit at all. But on the other hand, if I believe my product is a good fit and I take the time to educate my customer about my product, and I see that they could use my product, and I clearly delineate the advantages, the pros and cons, and how my product is positioned in the marketplace and how this could be the best solution for them, there's no manipulation in that. Now, I might persuade them by using persuasive techniques like framing the issue and helping them in that area. But that's after I've nurtured the relationship. I've talked to my customer enough. You know how here at Vision Advanced we stress talking to our customers. Well, that's a huge part of this influence piece. Leaders must be able to influence, and influence is about relationships. You cannot influence someone that you do not have a relationship with. So now, those of you, if you believe in this relationship, transactional marketing, where it's about wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, I made my money, I am clearly not talking to you. Now, having said that, there are times, let's be honest, you do need persuasive skills. If timing is critical, there's a sense of urgency, you do want those persuasive skills. And sometimes after we've nurtured the relationship with our influence, we've exerted some influence on the customer, it's appropriate to now persuade them. So it's not that persuasion is a bad thing. It's that if you've been thinking that selling is sleazy, it's because you were thinking about persuading people to buy instead of thinking about nurturing the relationship, taking the time to talk to your customers. That's a totally different psychology. This is why you and I in the past have been missing out. Again, I don't like feeling like that. I know exactly what you're feeling. But you're only feeling that way because you're thinking about persuading people instead of educating them, having honest discussions about your product or service, how you fit within the marketplace, how exactly you satisfy your customers' needs, and you're talking to your customer. So you should know if you fit their needs or not. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but being honest with them, nurture the relationship. I've had situations where I've referred people out because I didn't think I was a good fit for them, and later on they came back to me when they thought that I was a good fit. Integrity will do that for you. That little bit of time investing in a relationship got me their future business, and they also sent me other customers. So influence is about relationships. That's the takeaway. Now, what will that happen? What change should take place? If you now understand that you're not being sleazy, you should be out 1.5 to 2 hours or more every day making sales. Going out feeling good about helping people. Nurture your relationships. That is really one of the take-home messages. So one other thing I want to point out this is that if you use persuasion at the wrong time, it has huge consequences. Of course, buyer's remorse. We don't want that, right? But the other thing, not only buyer's remorse, but how about anger at you, your business? So now you won't get repeat business. You won't get referral business. This is why we always, I'm a proponent of think of the fourth or the fifth sale first. Long-term thinking. So I'm willing to invest energy into this relationship because I'm thinking about the long term, not just this one transaction. Am I a good fit? Because if I'm a good fit today, if I'm thinking about my customer's future interests as I should be, I'm also going to be a good fit in the future. And when I properly anticipate that need and I make them aware of that need and they now have that need, I will be their preferred provider. And so should you. So take home messages. Leaders, number one, leaders must influence. To influence, you have to have relationships, all right? Number two, persuasion is valuable. It's just we don't want to do it all the time. We have to pick the right time, all right, to be persuasive. And number three, if you properly nurture your relationships, it not only is good for the customer, it feels good to you. It doesn't feel sleazy. It will absolutely propel your business because most of us are not selling enough. That's one of the reasons why your business is not thriving, because of how we feel about sales. Let's reframe our thinking. Let's nurture our relationships. So in the comments below, where have you been? Have you been a nurturer or a persuader? I'd like to hear that in the comments below. Please thumbs up, like the video, share it, and subscribe if you haven't. I'm Dale Myers with Vision Advanced. Take care.